Land back, everyone. Welcome, comrades. Welcome to everyone that is here, new and, I shouldn't say old, but new and well-seasoned comrades. Thank you so much for joining and tuning in to this 53rd Black Hammer Tuesday rally. I'm Chief Thru, the Chief of the Culture Department. I rep the nations of Africa by way of Ethiopia and the Philippines. And my pronouns are they, them, and I will be your host this evening. Our theme for tonight is Land Back is more than a science. Land Back is more than a slogan, so critical. It is a science, as you can see here. Got my science goggles on. I don't know if these are goggles. I actually don't know what these are called, but I know they're scientific, okay? And we are highlighting our amazing and brilliant science and technology department this evening. Yes, we are going to get into how crucial science is to anti-colonial revolution and how powerful and selfless our comrades are using their skills and brilliance for the people. Who's excited for this tonight? Okay, can y'all please unmute yourselves and give me a loud roaring land back?
Land
back, everyone. This is going to be another super life-saving rally. I hope y'all are sharing this live. Don't forget to hit that like button, okay? And I better be seeing y'all in them comments. And now it is only right that we start this Tuesday rally by introducing our unbeatable organization. Let's get into who we are and what we are about. All right, y'all. So again, welcome to our weekly Tuesday rally. The Black Hammer Organization is the biggest, the baddest anti-colonial revolutionary organization in the game, all right? We are an organization made up of poor and working class colonized people united under 4 principles of unity. Principle of unity number 1, let's get into it. We believe the colonized proletariat should have dictatorship over our lives, labor, land, and resources. Principle of unity number 2, we believe all colonized proletariat are equal, no matter gender, sexuality, age, skin tone, body type, location, religion, language, mental or physical differences, and or by multiracial identity. Principle of unity number 3, we believe all the problems the colonized face are from colonialism and the submissive neo-colonialists that are within our colonized nations. Principle of unity number 4. We believe that the colonized proletariat is the only true proletariat. Only through our leadership can white power, capitalism, colonialism, imperialism, and all of its symptomatic offsprings be smashed, okay? And if you are wondering who our leadership of the organization is, we have them right here. We got our Commander-in-Chief Ghazi, Secretary General Anko, and Minister of Defense Sundiata. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoy tonight's rally, comrades, and welcome to the revolution. All right, hell yeah, y'all. The only solution to this colonial mess is the revolution. For those of you just now coming in, thank you again for joining us. Again, I'm Chief Thru, your Chief of Culture. I'm so excited to be hosting this Tuesday rally. But before we get started, I'm gonna pass it on to our Minister of Defense, Minister Sundiata, with a super important defense tip. Take it away, Chief.
Land back, and thank you, Chief Thru, for the introduction. Yes, I am the Minister of Defense of the Black Hammer Organization, Sundiata, and I represent the African nation and the nations of Turtle Island, and I use he, him, his pronouns. Before we get into this rally that is going to be both stellar and scientific, I want to remind you all that if you see any suspicious activity, you must let your chapter defender know immediately. We do not tolerate adventurism at the Black Hammer Organization, and we must be consistently aware of any suspicious actions that can endanger you, your comrades, and our mission here. Now, when you speak on the Tuesday rally like I'm doing right now, it's going to be assumed by those viewing live that you speak for the whole organization. So we ask that you please don't use any language that may be adventurous, divisive, or that disunites with the stated political line and principles of unity that were just read aloud. I'd also like to ask you all to make sure that you're not using your legal name or disclosing your location at all during the rally for your own security and privacy. Now, this week, I just want to make a couple reminders that we should all be internalizing and following in order to make ourselves more secure revolutionaries. So please, please, please attend the amazing workout and self-defense classes that our training and recruitment office puts on every day. They are here to ensure that you have dictatorship over your life and can sharpen yourself in your physical and mental fitness, as well as your self-defense abilities and training. Also like to remind you to review the cybersecurity guidelines presentation. Utilize a VPN and ensure that your sensitive information isn't easily available online, and ask your chapter chief if you are wondering where to find this information and presentation. And lastly, I want to let you know that you need to be checking in with your chapter defenders routinely. We need to be informing our defense leadership every time we leave the house, when we plan on returning home, and if any safety contradictions arise in our day-to-day lives. Our defenders and our defense apparatus can only help you as much as you engage with it and allow for it. So let's continue to go the distance every single day to learn how to defend ourselves and our comrades better. Land back and enjoy the rally.
Land back. Thank you so much, Minister Sundiata, for giving us all that critical information and for always keeping us safe. And a huge revolutionary salute to the entire defense team as well. Now, I know I said we was gonna get started, y'all, but this just in, we got Chief Frederico, Chief of Social Media, who's gonna hit us with a super urgent action item. Have your phones ready. Get them out right now. Land back.
Land back, everybody. Yeah, I'm Chief Frederico, Chief of Social Media. I represent the colonized nation of Borigen, and I use he, they pronouns. And today I come to you with an urgent action item to share this rally. You know, we're going to be breaking down how land back isn't just a slogan for us, it's science. It's rooted in material reality and what we're doing to repair the relationship that we have to the earth that colonialism has destroyed. So make sure that this message gets out, you know, share it to your friends, your family, you know, post it to your Facebook and share it to the groups that you're in. And if you share more than 75 times, you'll get this awesome, beautiful shirt that's through our BHO Bazaar page. Shout out to our visual propaganda department, Chief Uchi, Chief Gunn, who come up with such beautiful designs and art for us. And then another urgent action item, because y'all know the feds love deplatforming colonized revolutionaries, to just follow our Black Hammer Org 2.0 Insta page. We were shut down there originally with our other Insta page for being in full unity with the indigenous Palestinians, but we're back up and running because you can't shut down the Vanguard. So make sure to take your phone out and follow us right now if you don't. And then, you know, if you're excited about everything that you see through our social media platforms, through our Instagram, through our Facebook, through our Twitter, join our social media department today, right? You can be part of creating these incredible agitating pieces that go out to the masses and win people to revolution. So hit me up. I'll be in this Zoom room all throughout the entire rally. So hit me up, and then you can also DM us too. Land back.
Land back. I want that shirt. Who's gonna compete me for it? 75 times and you get that shirt. Land back. Thank you so much, Chief Frederico, for your dedication to being on the front lines of this anti-colonial struggle on the interwebs. Let's fight alongside our people, y'all, over at social media. Follow us at Black Hammer Org 2.0 on Instagram and prove that there's no stopping the revolution, no stopping the vanguard. Okay, let's agitate the masses, everyone. Now, y'all know we can't have agitation without propaganda. It's a scientific marriage, y'all, scientific marriage, proven to inspire our people. Up next is one of the most important segments on our agenda. It's time to dive deep into some political education, or PE for short, right? Political education is the tool that we use to inspire the masses to join this fight, and is the tool we use to constantly steel ourselves and each other so that we can be the best revolutionaries that we were born to be. It's what proves to our people that the power lies within all colonized people, and that there is nothing that will beat our unity. So tonight, reading this piece for us is the Chief of Staff of Science and Technology, Chief Felix.
Land back, everybody. My name is Chief Felix, just like Chief Fu just said. I represent the nation of Africa. I use they, them pronouns, and I am the Chief of Staff of SciTech. And I'm very excited to hop into this PE with you all today. I just want to remind everyone who might be new that we are going to be opening up for discussion once we're done. So make sure to get your X's ready in the chat. Once you start speaking, you'll have about 2 minutes. And once you hear this ding,
Ding.
Yes, perfect. Then you'll know your time is just about up. So be sure to start wrapping up your thoughts. and with that, let's get started. All right, on revolutionary medicine. We are at the end of an era, not only here in Cuba, no matter what is hoped or said to the contrary, the form of capitalism we have known, in which we were raised and under which we have suffered, is being defeated all over the world. The monopolies are being overthrown, collective science is scoring new and important triumphs daily. In the Americas, we have had the proud and devoted duty to be the vanguard of a movement of liberation which began a long time ago on the other subjugated continents, Africa and Asia. Such a profound social change demands equally profound changes in the mental structure of the people. Individualism in the form of the individual action of a person alone is in a social milieu must disappear in Cuba. In the future, individualism ought to be the efficient utilization of the whole individual for the absolute benefit of a collectivity. It is not enough that this idea is understood today, that you all comprehend the things that I'm saying and are ready to think a little about the present and the past and what the future ought to be. In order to change a way of thinking, it is necessary to undergo profound internal changes and to witness profound external changes, especially in the performance of our duties and obligations to society. Those external changes are happening in Cuba every day. One way of getting to know the revolution and becoming aware of the energies held in reserve so long asleep within the people is to visit all Cuba and see the cooperatives and the work centers which are now being created. And one way of getting to the heart of the medical question is not only to visit and become acquainted with the people who make up these cooperatives and work centers, but to find out what diseases they have, what their sufferings are, and what have been their chronic miseries for years, and what has been the inheritance of centuries of repression and total submission. The doctor, the medical worker, must go to the core of his new work, which is the man within the mass, the man within the collectivity. Always, no matter what happens in the world, the doctor is extremely close to his patient and knows the innermost depths of his psyche. Because he is the one who attacks pain and mitigates it, he performs an invaluable labor of much responsibility in society. A few months ago here in Havana, it happened that a group of newly graduated doctors did not want to go into the country's rural areas and demanded remuneration, that's a tough one, before they would agree to go. From the point of view of the past, it is the most logical thing in the world for this to occur, at least so it seems to me, for I can understand it perfectly. The situation brings back to me the memory of what I was and what I thought a few years ago. My case is the story all over again of the gladiator who rebels, the solitary fighter who wants to assure a better future, better conditions, and to make valid the need people have of him. But what would have happened if instead of these boys whose families generally were able to pay for their years of study, others of less fortunate means and just finished their schooling and were beginning the exercise of their profession? What would have occurred if 200 or 300 peasants had emerged, let us say by magic, from the university halls? What would have happened simply is that the peasants would have run immediately and with unreserved enthusiasm to help their brothers. They would have requested the most difficult and responsible jobs in order to demonstrate that the years of study they had received had not been given in vain. What would have happened is what will happen in 6 or 7 years when the new students, children of workers and peasants, receive professional degrees of all kinds. But we must not view the future of fatalism and separate all men into either children of the working and peasant classes of counter-revolutionaries, because it is simplistic, because it is not true, and because there is nothing which educates an honorable man more than living in a revolution. All right, land back. So just like I said in the beginning, drop that X if you have anything to say. New comrades, we especially want to hear you, so don't be shy. You have about 2 minutes. And once you hear that ding, be sure to start wrapping up those thoughts. All right, so the first person I see is Comrade G. Land back. Comrade G.
Just a moment, I'm unmuted.
Land back, everyone. I'm Comrade G, representing the colonized nation of Mexico, pronouns they, them. and I'm the secretary of the SciTech office. So yeah, full unity with this PE. I think it perfectly lays out what we're trying to do here, right? Like, we know that collective science, it's really like the key to our liberation, right? Like, through our projects, like the water project, all of our research projects and IT projects, like, we know that because we are a part of the colonized masses, that we are going to make beautiful science that is for the people, just like our Cuban comrades. So yeah, join SciTech, y'all. I'm back.
Len back, Comrade G, full unity with what you just said. I also absolutely see all the work that we do in SciTech reflected in this PE, the work that the Water Project does, and reflecting everything that we do for the people, actually using science for the people is a really beautiful thing. The next person is going to be Comrade Akata. Len back.
I'm back. Comrade Akata. I represent the nations of Africa and Turtle Island and go by she, they pronouns. I'm also part of SciTech as well as the Missouri chapter. I want to unite with this PE as well as what Comrade G has said before, because like we're battling individualism. Like, it's been bred into us by the colony for literally the 600 years that we have been colonized, and they make it so like all you see is individualism. That way they also can demonize Cuba and China and all of the socialist countries that have been able to work together to like work for their people. So they try to make that seem like, hey, they're actually not doing what they're supposed to be doing. You need to be focusing on what you're doing. And that breeds more individualism. But I mean, what has that individualism gotten us for real? Like, we're nowhere better than we were 600 years ago, or actually worse now. So if you're going to use science, use it for the people, because that's where it needs to go, because that's where it's supposed to go, so you can actually get the freedom and liberation that we've been craving for the last 600 years. But yeah, I'm back. Join SciTech.
Len back. Len back. Thank you, Comrade Akata, for you also with what you said. And also with this individualism, it's important to remember that the colony makes us think that like science isn't even political, because we don't even know, well, we do know what science can do for the people, and it's joining Black Hammer, it's being a part of these projects, being a part of SciTech, because the colony knows that science is very powerful when it can be used for the people. Next is Chief Len back.
Liam back. I'm Chisa. I represent the Korean nation. I use they, them pronouns. I'm the chief of SciTech, and I love this political education and unite with it and with what y'all have said, because this is the theory that birthed the Cuban Revolution and then later the Cuban government. And like, we know from the political education that we're all reading this week that Commander-in-Chief wrote, that it says in there that practice is primary and the only meaningful test of theory. And what this theory has produced is the Cuban healthcare system, which is the best healthcare system in the world. And also, you know, Fidel Castro had said in a speech that Cuba would never send bombs, but what they would send all over the world was doctors to serve the masses. And during the coronavirus pandemic, they sent doctors to Jamaica and to Italy and to a few other countries. I don't want to say them because I don't want to get them wrong. And that is what a science that is built for the people, where the people have been taught that you have to use science as like for the collective rather than as an individual. And the most like condemning like evidence of that is looking at the American and other colonial healthcare systems, where doctors push Lambos and rock Rolexes while charging people $4 million to tell them they have a cold and to give them a prescription for medicine that they can't afford, versus, you know, what Cuba has been able to do and what we are building in, you know, SciTech, seeing that water is killing our people because it's poisoned by the colony and moving immediately to build water filters to overturn it. It's just such a stark difference. And like this lays out how you have to use science for the people. It's your duty, and how we should be educating our people to be able to use science rather than pushing them out with like these ridiculous like colonial Western notions of like who is good enough to be a scientist. So you have to like create that culture, which is what this is about, a shifting culture of how we think about science. Land back.
Land back for unity of what you just said, Chief Sub, right on time. Yeah, I absolutely like everything. I will just move on to the next person. I have nothing really to add. Chief Lee, you are up. Land back.
I'm back. I'm Lee. I represent the China, and my pronouns are they, them. I just like to really unite with this PE and what Chief Sa has said. Like for those of us that go to school for like engineering degrees or doctorate degrees or whatever, for you to be in like 4 years of school, 8 years of school, 12 years of school, like in this colonial education system, especially here in the United States, that is, you are basically you're like growing your knowledge or whatever, right, on with stolen like resources, right? What you're basically doing is like, being in the school and having the individualism put into your brain and thinking, oh, I'm so smart or whatever. But at the end of the day, right, that's fake. Like, you're not an individual. You didn't get there and go to those schools on your own. Like, your parents pay for it or whatever. Like, people paid for these schools to exist and paid for you to be in these schools and learning these knowledge. So at the end of the day, what are you going to do when you step out of those schools with your fancy degrees or whatever? What they want you to do is go into these companies and build things and continuously perpetuate this individualistic idea of how to like build a colony and whatever, right? But what you need to realize is that this whole idea of individualism, like P has said, it's completely a fake concept, and you have to take your knowledge and put it into the people, put it into a collective energy toward building our own future, right? Because like everything that the school tried to tell you about putting you into an industrial complex, putting you in under capitalism, colonialism, that is built on the back of your people. You went to school on the back of your people. So that's the reason why I am in SciTech, and that's the reason why y'all need to be in SciTech, right? Because this is the place where you can really truly use your power, use your knowledge, use your brain or whatever toward like the betterment of your people and toward the destroying the system, right? So yeah, Len back, just really want to unite with that.
Land back. Thank you, Chief Lee. And I also want to add a little bit that it's so important to remember that once we're all united and working together for like a collective scientific goal, like there's nothing that we can't do together. Like science only moves faster together. Like we can cover so much ground, do so much research when we're all leaning together and doing science for the people. And there's, like you said, there's nothing that the colony can give you doing science individually, because it will never be as strong as what it will be working with the collective. Next is Chief Amalicha.
Land back, I'm Chief Amalicha. I represent the Kalina people of Venezuela. My pronouns are she, her, and I really want to unite with this political education as well as what the rest of my comrades have said. The petty boo will get you absolutely nowhere. You will end up alone, be in the lab alone, be in the hospital alone, doing nothing to ensure that your people are thriving. So when you are engaged in collective science, when you're engaged in working with your people, you're ensuring that you are working and building for liberation every single day. We want to make sure that everything we do, the skills that we gain together, are with the collective constantly. And that's what SciTech is out here doing, right? You don't have to have some colonial degree or anything to be able to be a part of science and technology, to build all of the things that science and technology is doing, to build water filters, to ensure that our people are getting clean water, because the colony can't clean up their own messes, to build walapinis, to ensure that our people can grow food. While we are at Hammer City, we are making sure that all of our people have the resources that they need to be able to build and grow collectively constantly. Don't fall for the petty boo degrees and everything, thinking that some $100,000 job is gonna get you anywhere. It won't. The best way to grow as a scientist, as a revolutionary in general, will always be with the masses, with your people. Land back.
Land back. Thank you so much thank you everyone, and thank you Chief Amalicha for taking that PE. We are going to go on ahead and pass it off to Chief Sa next to talk a little bit about the water crisis. Land back. Thank you, everyone.
Land back, thank you so much, Chief Felix, and everyone who added on and deepened the PE with that collective brilliance. So we're going to be talking about the water project that SciTech has been working on for the past few months. And if we could go ahead and get up the slides, I wanted to start by talking about Chief Eyes. And I know most of y'all know already who Chief Eyes is and most of the contradictions that led to his death, but I want to lay it out again because we have to seriously never stop saying his name and understanding what it is that we're fighting for, because Chief Eyes represents not only our comrade who we love so dearly, but he also represents the millions of colonized people who have been slaughtered by this genocidal system of colonialism. So for those of you who don't know, Chief Eyes was our comrade in the Missouri chapter who was poisoned by the water in Missouri, which is infested with H. pylori, a bacteria that causes all sorts of gastrointestinal issues, and also trihalomethanes, which are cancer-causing chemicals, which are over 80 times the safe limit in that water in Missouri. And this led to Chief Eyes ultimately contracting an bacterial infection in his foot that spread to the rest of his body. And because this healthcare system is also genocidal, he ultimately died from something that could have been treated not only by medicine if he had been given the proper medical care for his foot, but also if the water had not been poisoned in the first place. And water is a sacred gift that we get from our greatest comrade, Mother Earth. And to see what the colonizer has done to it, poisoning it, and then pushing it in our communities to kill us is something that cannot stand. But we as Black Hammer, we do more for our fallen comrades than just, pour some out or hope and wish and, think that maybe one day there will be a world that's better than this. No, when we see a contradiction like this, we build to overturn it, and we build so that we can build liberation for our people. So I'm proud to pass it off to Chief Kithunsen and Comrade Rohan, who have been working on the invention of reverse osmosis water filtration systems so we can distribute them for free, first to the Missouri chapter and then worldwide. They're going to show you some of the parts, the pieces, the prototype they're building for the people. Land back.
Land back, y'all. This is Chief Kithunsen, representing the nation of Africa by way of Ghana. I use he, him, his pronouns. And this is...
I am Comrade Rohan, representing the nation of Aboriginal Australia, and I use he, him, and these their pronouns.
Right, so last time we left off, we had gotten a few parts for our oil system. Like I said before, we had done the research, and we had designed it, and we had figured out what parts we needed, and we're getting them right now. So I guess Comrade Rohan is going to show you the RO system that we actually reverse engineered to get this far. So he's just going to walk you through it, and I'll show you some of the parts that we have to kind of match it.
Land back, everyone. So I will just say, pardon the shades, there's just so much brilliance in this room, it's blinding. Anyways, so this is the prototype that we just, got, and we reverse engineered it, as Chief Kithunsen said. So if you take a look at it, there are many different stages that the water has to go through when it gets filtered. And I actually have, all right, so the first stage right here, probably difficult to see, I apologize. So this first stage is a micron, well, it's a sediment filter. It's a 5 micron sediment filter.
You got that right here?
Right there. And that's what these are. They're like little replacement filters. That's the first stage that it goes through. It's 5 micron. Keep that in mind. And then the next thing we go into is the carbon filter right here. We all know about carbon. We all know and love carbon. There's even
right here.
We even have like
carbon right here.
The activated carbon. Like when it gets activated, it looks like this. Yes, we definitely made a mess in the kitchen when we opened that thing. And then the third stage of the water filter is another micron sediment filter. It is a 1 micron sediment filter.
Got that right here. That's your 1 micron.
So I will let y'all know, just like a little disclaimer, the difference between a 1 micron and a 5 micron is just the size. So it's extremely difficult to be able to tell the difference between a 1 micron and a 5 micron by just looking at them, because they look extremely similar. It's just a little bit smaller. They get a little bit more exact. When the water goes through, it filters out like way more things that it could have missed the first time. So it goes through the 5, and then it'll go through the carbon, and then anything that the 5 and the carbon missed, the 1 is going to catch, because it has that measurement of 1 micron. So it's smaller, for like just a little simpler breakdown. And then after that, it will be up here. These are also a little bit complicated to explain, but you have the RO membrane itself up here, and it also goes through a post-coconut carbon filter. Usually that's for flavor, you know, taste, just to make it, just to really seal in the fact that this is some good water.
And these are right here. Here's the RO memory. This is for 50 gallons per day. This one's a little bigger. The one you saw is a little bigger because that's for like 150 gallons per day. But we're trying to start off small and just make sure it works. So we're starting off with a 50 gallons per day. So it should be able to successfully filter 50 gallons of water every 24 hours. And this is the post carbon filter. And like I said, there's a holding tank that comes with it that we are pressurizing for the, I guess, the mechanism that pushes the water out. And I described that before. Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, we're gonna use that with this bucket right here. There's like a normal tank that comes with it, but because we're so innovative and we're super smart, we could do it with a bucket because you can pressurize anything, and we that smart here at SciTech and Black Hammer. So just showing you guys what your money's going to. We about to get this off the ground in like the next few weeks. So appreciate your support. And I think now that we explain kind of what we're doing, we're just gonna hand it off to Chief So right now.
Land back. Can I get a land back in the comments for our brilliant comrades, Chief Cthulhuson and Comrade Rohan, and also Comrade May and everyone else who has worked on this project. This is brilliant, colonized brilliance, serving the people. This is what the political education was talking about. And I wanna, like we said, this is all based on y'all's donations. I want to hit a goal of $200. Our Cash App is BHO SciTech. You just saw exactly what it's going to. If you want to save a life today by getting a colonized person the best, not only, filtered out all of these things that they use to murder colonized people, but also the best. You heard Comrade Rohan, the crispest, the wettest, the best water that you can get them, then go ahead and hit up that Cash App at BHO SciTech. Get those donations in. If y'all could drop what you're donating in the comments, that would be amazing, just to show folks that, the power we have behind our projects that comes from the masses. This is all of the masses, to the masses, from the masses the whole way through. I also do want to invite anyone who is watching this to join SciTech. A lot of people feel like they can't do it because they don't have this degree or that experience. I just want you to imagine like that you had been a carpenter your entire life. For like your entire life, and that's all you've ever done is built stuff, cabinets and beds and shelves. And one day, someone you've never seen before in your life comes into your house, kills your whole family, and tells you that you can't do science, and you're not good enough, and you've never been a good carpenter, and you're looking at the things you've literally built with your hands, and like, how could that possibly be the case when you've been doing this your whole life? That's what the colonizer tells us about science. They tell us we need to go to these colonial academic institutions to get knowledge that was stolen from us. It's not true. You can join SciTech, no degree necessary. Just email us, bhoscitech@protonmail.com. If we could hit that next slide real quick so folks can see the email. Join us. You don't need any of that experience. That's a lie the colony tells you to push you into that individualist system that Comrade Lee was talking about. We don't need it. We've never needed it. All colonized people are scientists, and we need all of y'all into SciTech today to build a world where no one oppresses another. Land back.
Land back. Yes, from the masses to the masses. That's what I'm talking about. Land back and revolutionary salute to our Science and Technology Office for all the work you do. Oh my goodness, I forgot my glasses. Damn, how did I forget that? Clean water is a birthright, y'all, that everyone needs access to, okay? So not only do we got a whole committee dedicated to making sure the people have clean water, which I know is probably the best water you've ever tasted in your life. We got a whole department that is taking care of your body and your mind. So giving us this week's self-defense and workout schedule for the week is Chief of Defense Trainings, Chief Evie Lamback.
Lamback. I am Chief E. I represent the nation of Africa, but Trinidad and Tobago, as well as the indigenous people of Muskegee and Cherokee. And my pronouns are she, her, and they, and I am the Chief of Defense Training and Recruitment. And here we are talking about the workouts that we have for y'all, got a wider range. Let's go ahead and get this started. So, starting with Wednesday, we've got First Aid and Survival with Coach Rohan at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. In this class, we will be talking about heat-based illnesses because it's summertime, y'all, and it's going to be hot. People are going to be out here breathing during these protests and everything, and we have to know how to protect our comrades. Well, I'm back, so make sure y'all get into this class. Thursday, Strength and Endurance with Coach Kamal at 1:40 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Coach Kamal has a saying, your body, your resource. And this is how we take it back. Make sure you get in here. We got plenty of stuff. Friday, we have outreach training with Minister of Defense Sundiata at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Please keep in mind this is mandatory before outreach, as it best teaches us how to conduct ourselves when we're out in these protests and at outreach. Friday, we have boxing classes with Coach Phoenix at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We talk about how boxing works in the ring, and then we relate it to real life situations and how you would use it to protect yourself and people around you. Saturday, you have bat training with myself at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This is also mandatory before outreach, so make sure you're in it. We use a baseball bat to protect ourselves and our comrades. It's very versatile, and I take influence from Kali as well as traditional African martial arts. So take the time to get up in here, always interesting. Saturday, Serene Saturdays with Chief Cole at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. As colonized people, we all be going through it with emotional issues, anxiety, depression, and here we get to talk about it together and how best to self-soothe and to lean on the masses to help get through this. So join us Saturday, my bad. Sunday, stretching and meditation with Chief Yabe at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This goes hand in hand with our Serene Saturday, as it gives a chance for comrades to take control of their mental health. So make sure y'all stop by there and make it a priority. Monday, strategic striking with Chief Tupac at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It's not enough to know how to punch and kick. You also have to know when to do it, based on your opponent, based on your body type, and based on how you move. And we'll be exploring that in detail in this class. Tuesday, we got a second helping of Strength and Endurance with Coach Kamal at 1:40 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We actually had that class today. It was a huge test of our of our grit and guts. So make sure y'all stop by for that to get those revolutionary gains. Is that all the classes? Oh, I believe it is. Land back, y'all. Thanks for listening.
Land back. Yes, I hope to see y'all at these classes this week. And for those of you that want access, go right ahead and join us right now at blackhammer.org/join. All right, everyone, is you ready for what we got next? I know I am. Giving us the sermon to push us through the week is our one, our only CSC Commander-in-Chief Kazi Kozo with the State of the Hammer.
Hold on, y'all. Wait. Wait, right here. Oh shit, I'm messing up the whole. Land back, everybody. Land back. Oh, we gonna talk today. Say we gonna talk today in the comments. Land back and welcome to another amazing Tuesday rally. Shout out and appreciation to this fantastic, profound, revolutionary scientist ready to put their brilliance to the test. I want to talk about science today too. I want to talk about the science of victory. because that's what we need to focus on. How do we scientifically stay victorious? Somebody said, oh, Dio said 18 minutes. Dio, we're gonna have a very extensive reading situation. So I don't know if I can abide by that. Right now I'm abiding by the Holy Ghost. Okay, so I'm on Holy Ghost minutes. Praise God. Land back. So the science of victory. How can we accomplish victory? How can we get free? How can we become liberated? How can we end all of this? What is the science to that victory? And when I think about the science of victory, I think about many revolutions, but recently I've just been thinking and meditating heavily on Mao Zedong and the Communist Party of China's Long March. Y'all know about the Long March? You know, the Communist Party of China had, China was a divided nation, not even really a nation, of different warlords and empires and families and all these kinds of things. And they had their different parts of China that they were running, right? Well, the Communist Party of China also had different spots that they was running as well. Did you know that? And them spots resembled Hammer City. Oh, shabu. And these were spots and places where the Communist Party of China was practicing self-governance and self-determination. And the emperor, the sellout them, he thought, how can I unite China when there's these people right here that see me for who I am, and see these landlords for who they are, and see these warlords for who they are, and are speaking about dictatorship of the poor and working class people of China. And he was informed to attack the Communist Party of China, attack these strongholds, attack these spots, not the landlords, not the warlords and those kinds of pockets of self-determination and self-governance, but the self-determination of the people he had to attack. And he went and took his army to the strongest of the holds first. And that was where Mao was running the ship. You see, there was different sectors in these different spots of the Communist Party of China that had different leaders at times. Not all the Communist Party of China agreed with each other all the time. But what was very clear was what the vanguard was, and the vanguard was Mao Zedong. And when they went to go fight and try to take down Mao Zedong's Hammer City, they had problems because Mao was giving them guerrilla warfare. Mao was giving them a people's war. Okay, but the Communist Party of China was still sucking too much of white leftist dingling. They were sucking too much white leftist dingling at the time. And so the USSR was like, okay, we get it. Y'all are defending yourselves. You're winning against this emperor, but we want you to win even more and just take it all on. Mao understood that this was going to be a long situation, a protracted war. Some of those gonna last years, years. That's how you take down an empire. The War of the Fleet. We know the War of the Fleet. Say we know the War of the Fleet in the comments. And so what the USSR did is they worked their tentacles in Mao's sector of the party, dethroned Mao and replaced him with a white man in Asian face. I'm not lying to you. The cracker name was Braun. All right. And they took this cracker Braun and replaced him as leadership in that sector of the Communist Party of China. And then Braun led a war, a regular type of war. He was like, no more War of the Fleet, regular type of war. And that's when the people of the Communist Party of China started to lose. And they lost so much that the empire pushed them out of their stronghold. And Mao started the Long March now. That's where you get the Long March. See, y'all didn't know. So Mao began the Long March. Can you imagine evacuating your city, leaving your stronghold, leaving your self-governance, And Mao took a people of 87,000. These were not just soldiers, these are also people that just lived in that area with them. And Mao took along different printing services and all this other kind of stuff. So the people were moving, but the city was moving with them, and they were still operating their self-governance while they trucked. And from coming out of this place of extreme depravity and trying to escape the viciousness of the empire, years and years of trying to escape, and literally Mao decided to go through the most tumultuous and hard treks through China, because only through the harshest mountains and the harshest rivers and the harshest weather, he knew that if the people were there, that the imperialists would not get to them easily. It was hard. At the end, Mao started with 87,000. Mao ended with a record of 9,000 people. Take a moment. Take a moment just to internalize that. Can you keep fighting when your numbers went from 87,000 to 9,000? Are you ready for a long march? What was in them that made them not quit? What was in them that could see that much devastation? That could go through some of the tallest mountainous areas in the world and not give up? To rise up and then defeat the empire and take over China. Because Mao understood the science of victory. So let's look at the science of victory. We're going to go through quotations of Chairman Mao Zedong. And we're going to start at page 85, self-reliance, an arduous struggle. I told y'all this was going to be a while. And we're going to start with this quote. It says, "We must thoroughly clear away all ideas among our cadres of winning easy victories through good luck, without hard and bitter struggle, without sweat and blood." That's what Mao said. We should carry on constant propaganda among the people on the facts of world progress and the bright future ahead, so that they will build their confidence in victory. But at the same time, we must tell the people and tell our comrades that there will be twists and turns in our road. There are still many obstacles and difficulties along the road of revolution. The 7th Congress of our party assumed that the difficulties would be many, for we prefer to assume that there would be more difficulties rather than less. You hear what Mao was saying? He says, you better assume that there's more difficulties in your path than come up with a flaw thinking there's gonna be less difficulties in your path. Mao saying over-prepare. Say over-prepare in the comment. Over-prepare, that's part of the science. Some comrades do not like to think about difficulties. But difficulties are facts. We must recognize as many difficulties as there are and should not adopt a policy of non-recognition. How many of y'all seeing difficulties in your life, in other comrades' life, in the work that you ain't calling out? If you don't beat the difficulty will beat you. We must recognize the difficulties, analyze them, and combat them. There are no straight roads in the world. We must be prepared to follow a road that twists and turns and not try to get things on the cheap. It must not be imagined that one fine morning, all reactionaries will go down on their knees of their own accord. We're gonna have to beat them suckers. Say beat them suckers in the comments. In a word, while the prospects are bright, the road has twists and turns. There are still many difficulties ahead that we must not overlook. By uniting with the entire people in a common effect, we can certainly overcome all difficulties and win victory. Once you have internalized victory, what victory can be torn from you? That's why that 9,000 made it through. If they didn't march to those mountains, if they didn't mourn their comrades, if they didn't have to dodge bullets, if they didn't have to lose an arm and a foot here and there, if they didn't do all of that and kept it moving, you couldn't say China today is putting drones on the goddamn planet of Mars. You understand? So many people look at China and want to say all the things, amazing things that China does, but you have to understand that China and the Communist Party of China has internalized that there will be victory no matter what. And if Black Hammer is serious about creating a worldwide revolution, what do you think you're gonna have to go through? Because that's what they had to do to build a nation. What are we gonna have to go through to build a world? Does that put the struggles that you have today in a certain perspective that is much smaller, because you know that one day you're gonna have to truck up a mountain in negative 20-degree weather with the incorrect boots and wrap around coats around your shoes? What you really ready for? You said you want to serve the people. All right, let's get to the next read. I told you it's gonna be a heavy reading rally today. Anyone who only sees the bright side, but not the difficulties, cannot fight effectively for the accomplishment of the party's task. When I read that, it reminded me of this reporter that wrote about us recently. I think it was like the Daily Beacon, the Washington Beacon, something around that. And you know, he was attending these rallies. This cave beast was attending these rallies and things like that. And he wrote in there, you know, that in my speeches, for some reason, you know, he focuses on the haters and he talks about the haters and things like that. Well, I'm not in the belief or of not acknowledging the things that are real, one. And how can we turn our haters into our motivators if we're not accepting that they exist? And I am saying, bring all the difficulties, I will eat them all. I can talk about them all, see them all, because I know that we are bigger than them all. So yeah, we talk about our haters. We talk about our contradictions and our criticisms and self-criticisms. Because we hungry. We hungry. We want to be victorious. And if you want to be victorious, you have to be hungry to eat contradiction. You have to be hungry to eat slander. You have to be hungry to eat errors. You have to be hungry to eat haters. You have to be hungry to eat the enemy. And you can't turn away in a blind eye to it. I ain't in the business of that. I ain't in the business of that. I ain't in the business of that. I'm in the business of looking at my storm dead on. Look at your storm, Hammer. Right now, look at your storm. Meditate on the contradictions that you is personally struggling with. Liberalism, petty bourgeoisie tendencies. Focus on the contradictions in your small circle, right? Your friends, your family, your job. And look at the contradictions of colonialism worldwide. Dead in the face, meditate on it. Look at dead in the face. And know you are bigger than it. Because unlike it, you have made the conscious decision never to quit, never to surrender. And so now it is just a battle of who's gonna give up first. And if you are confident that you're never gonna give up, then victory is in your hands and nothing can tear it from you. All right, next part. The next quote is, the comrades throughout the party must take all this fully into account and be prepared to overturn all difficulties with an indomitable will and in a planned way. Is your will indomitable? Mao didn't set a kind of sort of will. Mao didn't set a soft will. Mao didn't set a will only when you're comfortable. Mao didn't set a will when only if you are able to because of your job. Mao didn't set a will only if your health is okay. Mao didn't say a will only when your mental health is okay. Mao didn't say a will only when your relationship health is okay. Mao said an indomitable will, an indomitable will. Oh, a will that cannot be turned around by any circumstances. That's the only will that can give you victory in this revolution. What will are you working on in yourself? What will are you promoting in the comrades next to you? What will are you promoting in the comrades underneath your leadership? What will are you promoting in the leadership that's above you? Is it indomitable? Indomitable will. Put indomitable will in the comments if you want indomitable will. If you know the value of indomitable will, put indomitable will in the comments. Put indomitable will in the comments for the comrades that are struggling for indomitable will. Put indomitable will in the comments for the comrades that are struggling to make a real self-criticism. Put indomitable will in the comments for the comrades that are struggling to develop. Put indomitable will in the comments for the comrades that are suffering with fear and insecurities and depression and anxiety. Put indomitable will. The reactionary forces, and we both have difficulties. Mao is saying, yes, you got difficulties and your enemy got difficulties because we are both living in the crisis of imperialism, right? So when the empire is having a shortage on chicken and gas and all these other kinds of things and money, right? We as a revolutionary organization building a dual contending power to serve the interests of the poor working class colonized masses. Those are our issues too now. The enemy got to solve it so the enemy can stay oppressing. You got to solve it so that the people can get liberated and free. The reactionary forces, and we both have difficulties, but the difficulties of the reactionary forces are insurmountable because they are forces on the verge of death and have no future. Your enemy has no future. Colonialism has no future. White power has no future. Joe Biden has no future. Kamala Harris has no future. Donald Trump has no future. The white right wing has no future. The white left wing has no future. You have a future. So how should you be seeing these struggles? Our difficulties, Mal says, can be overcome because we are new and rising forces and have a bright future.
Man, man, that fire was too hot for the tech. SciTech, can we build up some new technology for CIC Ghazi? That sermon was so hot.
I'm back. Don't worry. I tell you, the devil is alive and well, but my God is alive and well. Like I said, in times of difficulty, we must not lose sight of our achievements and must see the bright future and must pluck up our courage. You know, that's why I hear the slander. I see the slander. I see slander coming from the pigs. But I decided this time, I'm not gonna jump in front of it and explain myself. We decided as an organization, we're not gonna jump in front of this and explain ourselves to a pig. And what you also wanna see a lot of the times in struggle is who's gonna stand by you for real, for real. I'm talking to somebody. Who gonna stand by you for real, and judge you by who you are based on your resume and your achievements. And sometimes you gotta be quiet to do that. But Mal talks about new things and how new things are on the horizon, and just like a new thing, right? You're gonna have struggles, right? When you were a baby, you had struggles because you had struggles of growing, right? When you were a toddler because you had struggles of deciding and figuring out what the F is going on with society? How do I fit in here? When you was a teenager, you had struggles with your hormones and you're trying to figure out, well, what the hell, I'm gonna deal with this, and who am I, and what am I here to do, right? And then your 20s come, and you just like, well, damn, what the hell, right? And I'm supposed to be a Power Ranger, that's personal. But anyway, you just like, what's going on? But these are struggles of something coming into existence. These are the struggles of a new thing, right? So you must not see your struggles as the same as the struggle of a dying thing. This empire is dying. You are coming into existence. So of course, the thing that is dying of these struggles and difficulties, but you are coming into existence being understanding and finding out the science of being self-determining, of self-governance, and handling these contradictions, solving them, serving the people, and coming into power. You understand? You understand? You are picking up the thing that is killing them. All right. But I want to talk more about these new things and what happens with new things, because we are a new thing. You know, Black Camera's been out here, 2 years, right? And a lot of times we have people and other orgs that are threatened by us, and we have to scientifically analyze them. And Mal says, the present upsurge of the peasant movement is a colossal event. In a very short time in China's central, southern, and northern provinces, several 100 million peasants will rise like a mighty storm, like a hurricane, a force so swift and violent that no power, however great, will be able to hold it back. They will smash all the trammels that bind them and rush forward along the road to liberation. They will sweep all the imperialists, warlords, corrupt officials, local tyrants, and evil gentry into their graves, every revolutionary party and every revolutionary comrade will be put to the test to be accepted or rejected as they decide. There are three alternatives. Come on, listen to me, y'all. To march at their head and lead them. That's where I want to be. That's where Black Hammer needs to be. That's where y'all should want to be. Or to trail behind them, gesticulating and criticizing. That's like a lot of these old ass orgs and old ass activists and old ass organizers. Or to stand in their way and oppose them, the state, white nationalists. Every Chinese is free to choose, but events will force you to make the choice quickly. Now, hold on now. Listen to this one. The masses have a potentially inexhaustible enthusiasm for socialism. Those who can follow the old routine in a revolutionary period are utterly incapable of seeing this enthusiasm. Ooh! Those who can only follow old routine, you know them. They worship the Black Panther Party, they worship Mao, they worship Lenin, they worship all these old things, but they ain't trying to bind to the new thing or create the new thing. They are blind and all is dark ahead of them. At times they go so far as to confound right and wrong and turn things upside down. Haven't we come across enough persons of this type? Those who simply follow the old routine invariably underestimate the people's enthusiasm. Let something new appear and they always disapprove and rush to oppose it. Black Hammer said fascism ain't nothing but white people's fear that colonialism is going to treat them like they're colonized. Like the pigs and the state and the military and the police are going to treat them like they are colonized. Now everybody talking about, well, I don't know if fascism real. Black Hammer is the one that said that the white workers are nothing but the white whipping class and they don't produce any goddamn thing, so they can't lead any goddamn thing, and they are a parasitic class. Now everybody's coming up with criticism of them. Black Hammer's the one that said that we are colonized people. We're not people of color. We're not crayons. We are people that represent nations, represent history, represent land, represent people, represent culture. And we are colonized, and that is what unites us at this moment. Now everybody talking about colonized. Black Hammer said, no, we are not a leftist or we're anti-colonial org. Now everybody want to be anti-colonial. Because they are not ahead, they are behind, and that's what people that behind do. They eat your shit. So let them eat our shit. Let something new appear, and they always disapprove and rush to oppose it. Black Hammer. Afterwards, they have to admit defeat and do a little self-criticism. They be coming around, don't they, in their little Medium posts, and then they post on whatever things they be writing that nobody reads. Poor babies, they write these whole long college theses. No, about 4 or 5 people read it and give it 2, 3 people give it a hand clap. What a pathetic life they live. I thank God every day he didn't make me meaningless like our haters. But God had to make some people meaningless. But the next time something new appears, they go through the same process all over again. This is the pattern of behavior in regard to anything and everything new. Such people are always passive, always fail to move forward at the critical moment, and always have to be given a shove in the back before they move a step. When COVID hit, Black Hammer was on it. Black Hammer gave masks. Black Hammer was doing outreach. Black Hammer was doing online virtual rallies. Now they all want to do that. Feel good to be in front. You know you're doing the right thing when you read in Mao and everything coming into fruition. Right? Right. Whew. Anyways, now let's get back to over here. Hold on, y'all. I hope I didn't lose my place, Lord. You know, I'll be getting into the spirit. And I'll be losing my place, y'all. Oh, Lord. One moment. That's the good thing of table of context, page 85. Whew. I'm almost done with you. Mao said, at certain times in the revolutionary struggle, the difficulties outweigh the favorable conditions, and so constitute the principal aspect of the contradiction, and the favorable conditions constitute the secondary aspect. But through their efforts, the revolutionaries can overcome the difficulties step by step and open a favorable new situation. Thus, a difficult situation yields place to a favorable one. What is work? Work is struggle. There are difficulties and problems in those places for us to overcome and solve. We go there to work and struggle to overcome these difficulties. A good comrade is one who is more eager to go where the difficulties are greater. How many comrades do you know is running towards the difficulties? Are y'all running towards the difficulties? We have to make a science of running towards the difficulties, of not bending to the difficulties. And some of us bend to the difficulties. And the difficulties come into your life in all aspects of your life, because all aspects of your life are colonized. So it's going to come through your family. They'll even use your children against you. They'll use your loved ones against you to try to grab you away from being the revolutionary warrior you're supposed to be and just have you being a servant to what other people want you to be and not what you were born to be. Take you away from your purpose. Take you away from your purpose to liberate your people. When you put it in that aspect, what should be able to take you away from your purpose? You can't even let your own children do that. You can't let your friends do that. And you damn sure can't let your job do that. You know you were put on here. You were put on this earth for a reason. I talk to hammers all the time. And one thing all hammers have in common that I've realized, hammers be telling me, I knew I was meant for something great. And when I met Black Hammer, I knew that was the thing that my greatness was supposed to do, was to liberate all colonized people around the world and save this planet from dying from all the ailments of colonialism, capitalism, imperialism. So when you realize your purpose, how can you let something tear you away from that? No matter the difficulties. You should accept the difficulties, want even the difficulties. Sometimes things be so easy and I'm looking, where it at? Because I gotta know this struggle's real. And then it comes and it hits me hard and I say, shit, what was I asking for? But then I gotta get up. I gotta get up every time, I gotta get up. I want to read this one. This is a real nice one. Now listen, Linda, listen. There is an ancient Chinese fable called The Foolish Old Man Who Moved the Mountains. It tells of an old man who lived in northern China long, long ago and was known as the foolish old man of the North Mountain. His house faced south, and beyond his doorway stood two great peaks, Tai Hyung and Wang Wu, obstructing the way. With great determination, he led his sons in digging up these mountains, hoe in hand. Another gray beard, known as the wise old man, saw them and said, decisively. How silly of you to do this. It is quite impossible for you to dig up these two huge mountains. The foolish old man replied, when I die, my sons will carry on. When they die, there will be my grandsons, and then their sons and grandsons, and so on to infinity. High as they are, the mountains cannot grow any higher, and with every bit we dig, they will be that much lower. Why can't we clear them away? Having refuted the wise old man's wrong view, he went on digging every day, unshaken in his conviction. This moved God, and he sent down two angels who carried the mountains away on their backs. Today, two big mountains lie like a dead weight on the Chinese people. One is imperialism and the other is feudalism. For us, it's colonialism and neo-colonialism. The Chinese Communist Party has long made up its mind to dig them up. Has Black Hammer made up its mind to dig up colonialism and neo-colonialism? Say my mind is made up in the comments. The Chinese Communist Party has long made up its mind to dig them up. We must preserve the work unceasingly, and we too will touch God's heart. Our God is none other than the masses of the Chinese people. If they stand up and dig together with us, why can't these two mountains be cleared away? This is the time of mountains in our way. But mountains make giants, so why not us be obsessed with the fact that we are becoming giants, rather than obsessed with the fact that there's mountains in our way? And then one last bit I want to close y'all with. All men must die, but death can vary in its significance, Mao says. An ancient Chinese writer, Sima Qian, said, though death befalls all men alike, it may be weightier than Mount Tai and lighter than a feather. To die for the people is weightier than Mount Tai, but to work for the fascists and die for the exploiters and oppressors is lighter than a feather. How colonialism has robbed you of the weight of your true life and made your life the weight of a feather. You're not here just to ring people up. You're not here just to bag people's groceries. You're not here just to take people's order. You're not here just to make dirty diapers clean. You're here to free the world. You know it. You know what you felt in your heart. So when struggles and difficulties come, you have to know that is just your story, but you are still the main character that is going to overcome these stories. The science of victory is the science of never giving up. And standing strong and firm in your purpose, no matter what tries to tear you away from it. And they'll come as close to you as your own partner, your own parent, your own best friend, your neighbor. And they'll come as big as the whole internet, it seems like, slandering you. These white leftists want to call me a scammer, say I'm pocketing the Hammer City money, all this other kind of stuff, when I'm living in poverty like the rest of y'all. I'm living in a one-bedroom apartment in the hood in Denver, Colorado. I had to leave that apartment because the whole freaking SWAT team was called for 3 kids having a fight with a scooter. And I had to see this black pig with an assault rifle saying that he's coming in my community with an assault rifle because he heard that kids had a scooter, and some of the kids even said, oh, they may have a gun. So you coming with an assault rifle to kill my children. I'm doing this out of purpose. If I wanted a bag in a house, I had a bag in a house when I met the revolution. I don't even have access to the Hammer City money. I stay with 5 niggas. They stink. I love them. I probably stink too. Y'all know I don't use deodorant. I use my crystal salt, my salt crystal and some rose water, and I pray about it. Because they got aluminums in them goddamn deodorants, and I ain't trying to die. So I'd rather stink than die. All I want to do is good. All you want to do is good. And they mocking us for wanting to build free housing for houseless, poor and working class colonized people. That's our dream, that's our want, that's our struggle. But like Mal laid out, a righteous cause has the most enemies. That's how you know it's righteous. Let the light in you shine, no matter what comes what may. Land back. I love you long, and I love you strong. Oh, we got a song, y'all. We got a song. And I picked out the song, but our Queen Chief Dio sang it. And I hope this song can encourage y'all like it encourages me in my times of struggle of our long march. Land back.
Order my steps with your words, Coltrane. Lead me, guide me every day. Send me on the right path to freedom, I pray. Order my steps with your words. Please order my steps with your words. Humbly I ask you to teach me the way while we are fighting. Help me be still, 'cause white power's busy, revolution is real. Order my steps with your words. Please order my steps with your words. I want to be worthy according to the masses. Please order my steps, Cadre, and I'll do the best by them. The world is ever changing, but you stay principled. Please order my steps, and I'll never stray. Order my steps with your words. Order my tongue with your words. Guide my feet with your words. Wash my heart with your words. Show me how to walk with your words. Show me how to talk with your words. When I have a brand new song to sing, show me how the struggle has so much to bring with your words. Please order my steps with your word. Please order my steps with your words. Land back.
Land back, everyone. I just had some real tears every week, as always. The struggle is real, y'all. And you can see from the tears right here. And I know some of y'all got that too. That we all needed that word today. Thank you so much, CIC, for moving my spirit. Thank you so much, Chief Dio, for also moving my spirit in ways I've never felt before. The state of the hammer always gets me fired up for the week. If y'all are fired up, put hashtag fired up in them comments right now. Thank you again, Commander. Thank you again, Chief Dio. And now, y'all, it's time to get closer to sweet, sweet liberation. Let's raise some funds to get us to Hammer City. Chief Tiana, Chief of Staff of International Economic Development. Let's get these coins. Land back.
Land back, y'all. So sorry, my phone wasn't unmuting. My name is Chief Tiana, like Chief Thru just said. I represent the nations of Africa, and I use she, her pronouns. I'm, like Chief Thru said again, Chief of Staff of Economic Development, and I'm here to raise funds to build Hammer City. Our work with Hammer City is moving strong. We have our teams working on constructing the Wallapini hammer houses and other important structures. Our goal tonight is $1,200. I know we can do that. So, as y'all know, it's time to take out your phones, open up your Cash App, your Venmo, go into Google, type buildhammercity.org, and get to donating. It's very important that we donate because we have so much to build. We can't do that without money. So let me see your donations up in these comments. Oh, Admiral Saligoon already got $20. Chief Teray already got $20. Chief I got $20. Chief Oju got $20. Look at us. We're already making so much. Chief Churro got $50 or $5. Sorry. Y'all are doing so great. Keep that money coming. Instead of going and ordering that Starbucks, give that money here for your liberation. Oh, look at Sante, got $20 right there. Oh, Trevor got $50. And if you're white, don't forget, we need them reparations too, so come and bring them in as well. Thank you guys so much. We got donations from so many people. Sorry. Thank you so much, Chief Tootie. Sorry if I butchered your name. Chief Ina got 15 on it. Savvy got 30. Chief UT got 20. Chief Scene got 25 from Sarcophagus and Reparations. Comrade G got $5 on it. Yellow Scarf got 25. Yes, thank you so much, everybody, for donating. Chief Uchi got 5 on it too. Nafar got 10. Again, sorry if I butchered your name. JC pledged 25. 11 got reparations, $25. Thank you. From Teray, we got $20 from. Someone in the YouTube comments got 20. My bad. $20 from Chief Cola. Oh my gosh, there's a $200 donation from Black Landowner. Thank you so much. Guys, we're on our way there. Recruit A got 50 in reparations. Hard Ray pledged 40K? Whoa. Ooh, Comrade Deo got 100. Thank y'all so much. Oh my gosh. I wanted to talk about how the long march we got is so important. Because the money for our long march is so important because it'll help us push that march even faster. Every dollar y'all have donated today helps eat our steps towards revolution and liberation. So I want to thank y'all all so much for donating and continuing to donate. We got a pledge for 69. Thank you so much, Double D. We got $15 from Chief Maya. Thank you. We got 22 from our Euro. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. Hammer City is so important to me because I have a daughter and she's so amazing. And I cannot imagine a world with her that is not where she has dictatorship over her own life, land, and labor and resources. I want her to be inspired by our revolution and really be cadre as well. Chief Amma got 5. Yes, for the kids. Oh, Comrade Bear got 5 on it. Oh, Chief Oju got 20 more for my beautiful daughter. Thank you. Oh, yes, we got 5 on it from Chief Villa and 5 from Nadia for the babies. Yes, we got Chief Scene, $10 from Chief Scene for baby Amaru. Yes, thank you so much, y'all. We want all of our kids to be equal and celebrated for generations. So thank you all so much for donating for the babies, for the children. Oh, CIC got 44 on it. Thank you. Whoa, hold up.
That's don't spell that. I just scanned.
Okay.
Scan up.
Anyway, we got 2 colonizers pledging 100 for each for the reparation. Thank you so much. Y'all, thank you so much for donating. I really appreciate it. This is really going to help further our organization. Yes, land back. We've got a special announcement. Ooh, Chief Tweety donated $46. Thank you. We hit 75K, y'all. If you're donating through blackhammercity.org, don't forget to leave a comment. Tell the world why you support Black Hammer. And everybody who's donated so far, thank you. We have reached 75K from y'all, and we're going to continue to earn more money for our liberation. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it, and we really appreciate it. Land back. Did you hear that? We got 75K. Thank you, everyone who donated tonight. Please share if you want to help raise money for Hammer City, fundraise for PPE and food programs, and build dual contending economic power for colonized people. Please come and join the Economic Development Committee. We really want you and need you. So email us at bhoeconomicdevelopment@protonmail.com or go to blackhammer.org and join. Land back, y'all.
Land back. Woo! Shout out everybody that donated. We raised 75K, y'all. I cannot believe it. We were just at 70K like not that long ago. This is what colonized unity does, okay? Because we are all poor and working class, and it does not come easy. This is a testament to the power we are creating here at Black Hammer, and we are doing this scientifically, okay? Not only are we building a city, not only will we get there ASAP, okay, but did y'all know that we got a bunch of events and shows that be popping off during the week? Giving us the rundown of this week is the spectacular Chief Afeni. Land back.
Land back. Land back, comrades. It's me, Chief Afeni. And I'm representing Africa. I use she, her pronouns. And I'm about to hit y'all with the Black Hammer organizations, events and shows and more. Because we do everything, child. We be everywhere, all over the world. So every Sunday, and this upcoming Sunday, June 13th at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, that's what I heard earlier. I'm just gonna go with that. Eastern Daylight Time, we got the amazing The Revolutionary Book Trap. And right now we are currently reading Samora Michelle's An African Revolutionary, and it is being hosted by the phenomenal Chief Fatih and the absolutely amazing Chief Ade. And they got this political education on lock, and it's mandatory for all of us hammers. So I know I'm gonna see you there. All right. And then on Monday, every single Monday, and this upcoming Monday, June 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, we got the Oh My Golly Show. We are breaking down pop culture, political education, world events with Ghazi and the whole team. You know, the gorillas, the rebels, out here giving you that political education. And we is live on where? On YouTube, y'all. So make sure you're there to get that PE. And this upcoming Friday, we're going to have the season premiere of your favorite hard-hitting news show, Hard Targets, this June 11th at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time with the amazing Comrade Hayron and Chief Team. Join us on Facebook Live. You need that anti-colonial news. You need it in your life. Ooh, and then this one, ooh, it's in Spanish. I'm going to say it in Spanish for y'all. Es jueves 17 de junio a las 6 p.m. EDT. La frontera americana y México es una prisión. If you didn't know, that means the American-Mexican border is a prison. And we're doing a panel discussion. And that's going to be on June 17th at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time with the phenomenal Chief Mishley, my homie, Chief Jucha, my other homie, Chief Solomar, my favorite homie, Sergeant Bear, my boo, Chief Kiabe, and I know there's one more there, hiding behind this little thing. The absolutely brilliant Chief Amalicha. You don't want to miss this breakdown, y'all. It's going to be in English and Spanish, okay? And if you enjoyed these events and live shows, you need to join the culture department. We need your brilliance. We're looking for photographers, event planners, producers, writers, social media mavens. If you want to do this for the people, we're looking for you. So join us, and you can hit us up at BHO Culture Department at protonmail.com. Hit us up today, y'all. We looking for you. We waiting for you. And also, I know there's more. If you a colonizer, you know, a saltine, join the Reparations Corps, okay? Be on the right side of history. We gonna get you there, get you all back into humanity. Do it for your people. Aren't you tired of bombs, drones, just all this garbage in your name? Come on now, join the Reparations Corps and pay reparations today, yesterday, tomorrow, the day after that. Forever. If you was colonized, you know, melanated like myself, you need to join Black Hammer Organization, okay? It's time to get your freedom today, and you can do that at blackhammer.org/join. It's that easy. It's that simple. We waiting for you. Come home. Your comrades is waiting. What is you waiting for? We waiting for you. All right, y'all, let's enjoy this rally. And let me get a land back in the comments. I'll see y'all next week.
Land back. Thank you so much, Chief Afeni. Oh my goodness. I didn't know you was bilingual. You broke that down so amazingly. I was like, what? Okay, yes, y'all. So we got so many things coming up. Okay, I really want to see each and every one of you there. Invite your friends, invite your family. And again, please join the culture department if you want to be a part of creating this new revolutionary culture through our events and shows. All right, up next, we're going to hear from the one that be running the ship, okay? The one that be giving us the status of the streets, okay? To make sure we continue being the baddest anti-colonial revolutionary organization in the game. Up next,
my good son, Secretary General Uncle, my good son.
With the state of the rebellion.
Tear it up!
Land back.
Land back, everyone. I'm super excited to be back and to present to y'all the state of the rebellion, where things are at currently in the world and how it relates to our struggle. Our theme is science and technology. So I just want to say, ever since I've been a kid, I've had a deep fascination with science and technology. It wasn't something that I ever ended up pursuing, but I think it's just something that's natural of all colonized people, to be curious of the world around you, wanting to understand it, wanting to interact with it, and wanting, to overturn things. Is that when I was a kid, I could never grasp why people had to be hungry, why people had to be cold, why people had to be houseless. And, growing up, it's because of colonial capitalism. But beyond that, it was these, miraculous inventions that just came up out of nowhere that weren't ever used for the benefit of the people, ever, 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 ever. And I couldn't ever wrap my mind around that. And many colonized people can't either. And it's because the science we have operates and works for white power, colonialism, and capitalism. Any invention that comes out of that kind of society is used for the status quo. It doesn't change. It doesn't matter what kind of technological innovation could be made or what technology is and has been made to cure like world hunger. It hasn't yet, and it won't. And I need us as comrades and, for new visitors and potentially new comrades as well, to understand that science in itself is political. Science is always political. There's this tendency in Western society, white society that says science is this apolitical thing. It's always objective. It isn't. It is not. I want all of us to say to ourselves, science is not apolitical. It is not always objective. That there's interest behind so many of these things. Like, for example, the genetically engineered food that we eat with the mutated seeds that are planted, controlled by one company. Or the fact that, the bottle of soap that you have that markets itself to clean up oil spills on little baby ducks, the same company that spilled the oil is the same company that's producing the soap and the same company that created the plastic bottle. There's an interest there. Even though this soap is so great and cleans all these, dying animals, look how good. Look at this breakthrough, this great soap. And that's the situation for all sciences. That whatever endeavor, whatever spaceship or rocket ship or whatever they're going to go study in outer space under this colonial system, it's for the advancement of the system here on Earth, capitalism. Like, they're looking at asteroids to go mine giant asteroids made out of gold. That's really why Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are starting to leave the planet. There's other things for them to get rich on. There's more land to colonize. There's more things to steal. But a science and technology office under the control of the poor working class, tell me what we couldn't do. Tell me if you had the ability to decide how many garbage, ocean garbage cleanup machines are created. How many global programs are implemented to plant the amount of trees we need to reverse the carbon output that colonialism has created. Imagine all of that control with you, with your people, the people who have loved and cared for the land for thousands and thousands of years. That even these so-called white people, emphasis on the so-called, on the personhood, used to have a connection to the land. But colonialism has completely crushed that. And in order for us to actually tackle the problems that colonialism has caused to the planet, we need our science and we need our technology and we need it to work for the colonized poor working class. That means there's not going to be poison showing up in your water or in your food or in your air or in your soil, or that one medication that you're taking right now isn't going to cause your skin to fall off in 20 years. Did y'all know that if Tylenol was created in 2021, it would have to be a prescribed medication because of how dangerous Tylenol actually is to the body? That there's so many things that we're consistently surrounded by that we're completely oblivious to the long-term effects. Kind of like this vaccine. A vaccine that was cooked up in 4 months and then distributed to hundreds of millions And we're all told that that's okay, that that's fine. But I want to say the countries that aren't struggling with COVID-19 right now had a science and technology department and apparatus that worked for them. But it wasn't so much an emphasis on technology and introducing like this grand miracle cure-all. They organized the people. China defeated the virus, not through a vaccine, but through organizing their people. That's how their success came. It was studying the science of organization, the science of organizing the people. And you as a revolutionary are a revolutionary scientist. Maybe you don't ever see yourself because you're not tinkering away with circuits and electronics, but you are a scientist. Engage in a scientific process of moving the people to take power for themselves and to exercise the will of the colonized working class. That is scientific. You have to test the water sometimes. Where are the people at? What can actually be accomplished right now? What can be done? We're in an experiment, seeing what's actually going to work, practicing self-governance with each other. Some results we're not always going to be aware of, but like any good scientist, you welcome the new variable. You want to understand it deeper. Your drive to understand the truth, the core, is at the forefront. And that's how we also have to understand ourselves within the revolution. Is a consistent trial to find the most correct way and using that passion to ensure victory and to win. You are a revolutionary scientist. And that's why in Black Hammer, we've created the Science and Technology Office and why we're addressing water immediately. Because if you ain't got no water, you ain't got no people. You got no people to organize. And I just want to say, the reason why we are building our own filtration systems is that the city of Flint has been asking the white power government for a decade for it to be fixed. Despite an enormous amount of attention on it, despite the hours and hours, the millions of people who have contributed to try and overturn it, by asking the white power government, they still do not have clean water. And that same year, the Flint story broke out. There was also another study done that examined 10,000 other communities with the same levels of contamination in the water. That is not an exceptional cause, it's not an exceptional thing, unfortunately. It is in every colonized neighborhood. We're all drinking poisoned water. And so being able to build ourselves, to prove to the people we can just do it ourselves. Why wait? Why wait for a white power government that wants you dead in the first place? It's almost insulting to your own people to watch you go up and beg for the same entity that put you in that position. Not in Black Hammer. We want self-determination. We want to build a dual contending power. And the rest of the world, the communist and socialist and anti-colonial countries of the world decided to do that too, to build up their own self-determination, to stop relying on the empire. And a lot of these other organizations still want you to rely on the empire, asking you to go, canvas for Medicaid for all, asking for $15 an hour, asking for free healthcare. But that doesn't get to the roots of any of the problems that are asking you to ask for these idealist things. If you put half as much energy into building for your own people than protesting at empty federal buildings, we'd have a stronger dual contending power. And that's what I want all of you to be focused on. Your action items, your political education, everything that you're engaged in. It is for building for yourself. This doesn't just go to your boss. This doesn't go to a CEO. This goes to the colonized masses of people that are suffering each and every day. So having and supporting Black Hammer Science and Technology, you understand that we are the entity to solve the energy crisis, to overturn all of the trash in the ocean and in space, to regenerate entire ecosystems. Because that is what is on our minds. That is what our goals are to be. To restore balance and harmony, to use science that is informed by our ancestors, that is taken from new creations of today, to build something truly new. And we can't do that without science and technology. And like the comrades within the Science and Technology Office have said, you don't need a degree. You are a revolutionary, and that makes you a scientist, and that makes you qualified to engage in science and to never doubt yourself, ever doubt yourself. Colonialism literally ripped everything that we've ever created away from us and told us it was aliens that created our societies. Not us. It is us who have created everything on this planet. And we can do it again. We don't need what they have given. I don't want buildings. When I see skyscrapers, when I see their monuments, it's just blood. I'm tired of living in a society of blood and decay and death. I want you all to see how bright the future is. That the sun is rising on revolution. We can restore balance again. You don't have to work day in and day out and think that is your life. You don't have to suffer alone. Your kids will be taken care of. You will be fed. You will be sheltered. And you'll get to see a beautiful earth. You'll get to breathe. And that's how we move as this organization, compared to these other rebellions that are popping up. Ours is focused on winning our people who are stuck on hamster wheels of protest, adventurism, and violence. Win them to building for you. Put all of that righteous anger against your oppression to constructing for your mother, for your family, for the strangers you have never spoken to but know deserve more. Put that anger there. Build furiously for them. Attack white power furiously for them. That's where our rebellion is. That's where the winning rebellions and revolutions are. Building for their people, building self-determination. They're asking their masters for more. They're not addressing them like that. And that's how we're gonna roll here in Black Hammer. So if you haven't signed up yet, sign up at blackhammer.org/join and be a revolutionary scientist and change that whole world. I really mean the whole world. It's gonna take that to overturn colonialism. Land back, comrades.
Land back, Secretary General Anko. Mic drop. If you haven't joined yet, again, come on, be a part of this dual and contending power we are building, okay? Your people, we got you, okay? We are studying the science of organizing the people to serve the people. Go to blackhammer.org/join and join Black Hammer today. Why wait? Thank you so much for that powerful state of the rebellion, SG. And now it's time to meet all of y'all, all of our new comrades in the building, potential hammers, potential revolutionary scientists. Today, let's get into our membership call with our Chief of Membership, Chief Ade.
Land back. My name is Chief Ade, and I am your Chief of Cyber Recruitment, actually. And I am so excited to introduce all of you lovely, wonderful new hammers and all of our first-time rally attendees. So while I am teaching you all how to introduce yourself like a revolutionary, go ahead and drop an X in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and call you in that order. We're going to get you unmuted, and you'll have an opportunity to introduce yourself in this way. We have 3 parts to a revolutionary's introduction here at Black Hammer. The first part is you give us your revolutionary name, not your government name. Don't put yourself out there for Fedbook to see. Number 2, you're going to give us your colonized nation. That is the nation that your people come from, not the colonizer nation that you happen to live in. For me, that is Africa and Turtle Island. And finally, you give us the pronouns that you use because we respect you and we want to refer to you correctly. For me, that is they and she. All right. If it is your first time in this rally, if it is your first time joining Black Hammer, go ahead and drop an X. We want to introduce you. We want to give you space to tell us why you joined us today. You will have about 2 minutes. And then once you hear this sound, it is going to be time. That's the one. It's going to be time to wrap it up so we can move to the next hammer. But you will have time to introduce yourself at your first meeting or within our group chats. All right. Our first hammer up is Mamba Ronan. Welcome, comrade. Land back.
Land back. How is everybody? My name's Mamba Ronan, and my very first official rally. I come from the nation of Africa, and my pronouns are she, her. Thank you for welcoming me.
Thank you. And please show us that gorgeous face if you can. Hop on camera. Why'd you join us today? Oh, you know what? I'm going to figure it out once I get you in that group chat. I'm so happy you're here, comrade. Up next, we have Comrade Rivers. Can we unmute Comrade Rivers, please?
I don't believe Rivers is on audio. Just video.
Oh, no?
Yeah,
all right.
Rivers,
well,
if
while
you
we
get the chat function, type in the comments.
Go ahead and type in the comments. I'll make sure to read that out loud. Up next, we have Comrade Big Slither. Land back.
Hey, everybody. It's Big Slither on here. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can, comrade. Can you come on camera? I'd love to see you too.
Yeah, hold on real quick. Give me a moment.
Of course.
What's that? Okay.
Oh, there you are. Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How you doing today? Okay. So you gave us your name. Go ahead and tell us your nation and your pronouns, comrade.
You said my nation?
That's right.
Like, what you mean by that?
So my nation is Africa because that's where my people were taken from. And Turtle Island.
I'm in the United States.
No, where your ancestors from? Are you indigenous to
yeah, Africa. Well, I know Africa? My papa was like a slave, like my great-great-grandpa. They're from like South Carolina. And my mom, she's like Puerto Rican.
Okay.
I guess.
So born in Canada, Africa. Welcome. And then finally, why did you join us today?
My friend actually told me about this little foundation that y'all got going on. I was interested in it, so I just, just was looking into it.
Well, I'm so glad you looked into it. I hope you like what you see.
Yeah, I've been on here for a couple of hours though since y'all started. I ain't got off, so.
We appreciate you. I hope you're getting all that revolutionary vigor from all this rally we got going on. Thank you so much for joining us, comrade.
See you later.
Get back. All right. Keep dropping those X's, y'all. Don't make me call you out of the shadows. I love introducing new comrades. It is my favorite part of the week. We want to give you that big revolutionary welcome and make you feel like you are at home because you are. You can say goodbye to the colony once you say hello to Black Hammer. All right, Comrade Lapis, land back.
Oh, can y'all hear me? I think I'm unmuted. Hello.
Hello, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Hi, sorry, I'm shy. Lapis, they, them, and I've got a lot going on. So Africa, the Philippines, Guam, and Japan. Currently on Turtle Island. Land back.
Land back. You are a beautiful amalgamation of a bunch of nations. Okay. And why did you join us this evening?
I got a DM on Twitter, and I just love like chatting with other organizers and hanging out with the people. So this has been fun. Thanks for the invite.
Thank you so much for joining us. Go ahead and drop that join link, blackhammer.org/join. We would love for you to join us in moving the revolution forward. Seems like you got a lot of vigor, friend. All right. Up next, we got Comrade Cody Carto. Land back. Oh, Comrade, are you able to get unmuted? There you are.
Hello. Sorry, I think the light is not very good. Yeah, I accidentally used my regular name, so I don't know how to do this. It's my first rally here, so.
Oh,
yeah.
well, welcome. I'm just going to call you CK then, just for the sake of that. You just press participants and yourself, and you can change your name right there.
Okay, cool.
But while you do that, go ahead and tell us, what colonized nation do you represent?
So the Philippines and Indonesia a little bit, yeah. And I'm currently on Turtle Island.
Land back. All right now. And what pronouns do you prefer, Comrade?
Anything used respectfully, he, him is what I usually use, or what has been usually used, yeah.
Okay, he, him it is. And if that changes, please let us know. Thank you so much for joining us today. What brought you in?
I just got a DM on Instagram and I thought I'd check it out. It seemed really cool, yeah.
That's my hunters putting in work. All right, we're so happy to have you here. If you haven't, go ahead and drop that join link, y'all, blackhammer.org/join. We would love to get you processed and in the organization. You're gonna help us move this ish forward.
Yeah.
All right, who's up next? Go ahead and keep dropping those X's in the chat, y'all. Like I said, I don't want to pull you out of the shadows. I love when you willingly introduce yourself. We want you to feel nice and welcome here. All right. I'll give y'all one more minute. Any X's in the chat? I would love to meet you. And if you can't unmute yourself, you can drop your name, nation, and pronouns in the chat, and I'll read it out loud for everybody. We'll catch you on camera next time, though. Okay, if we don't have anybody else to introduce, I do want to move it. We do have to introduce our, drum roll, our hammer of the week. That is our hammer this week, who has worked extremely, extremely hard to pull in VIPs, to be the cadre example to all of the masses. And that is Chief Taliba, looking fabulous with that fro. We love you so much, Chief Taliba. You work so hard every day, and you are a brilliant example of what cadre can be. Salute to you. All right, y'all. Before I let go, I do have to leave you with a recruitment tip, and that this week it is birds of a feather always flock together. When I get into DMs and I find somebody who's really, really excited about revolution, the first thing I think is I got to get into their friends list, because chances are there's a whole bunch of colonized people who have been waiting their whole lives to hear from somebody like you. That's the strategy I got my hunters on, and clearly it's pulled a lot of people into this rally tonight. Get into the DMs, and if you find somebody's interested, get into their friends' DMs. Be a little bit of a creep for the people, because it will have a big impact for the revolution. That's what I'll leave you all with this week. Go forth and be great. I love you so much, and land back.
Land back. We love you so much, Chief Ade. Thank you so much for that. We love that recruitment tip. Absolutely great to help us find our new comrades that will come and help us push this anti-colonial revolution forward. So many new comrades in here. Remember, if you want to be a part of this dual contending power, please go to blackhammer.org/join. I am so excited to see what each and every one of you will bring to this revolution, and together and united is the only way we can win. And seeing y'all here shows that we're winning, y'all. So new comrades, have you ever heard of Walipini structures? Who up in here knows anything about information technology, AKA IT development? Well, next up, we got Chief Sa, who's gonna give us a rundown of what Walipini structures are. And then Chief T is gonna tell us why IT is essential to this fight. Land back.
Land back. Thank you so much, Chief Through. It's me again. And yeah, I'm just gonna talk to y'all about the Walipinis that SciTech is building for Hammer City. And so Hammer City is, if we understand Black Hammer to be what it is, which is, the organization that will get all colonized people free worldwide, then we also have to understand Hammer City as like our love letter to the people, our demonstration to the colonized masses that we are capable of achieving and giving and serving for them anything that they desire, and at the end of the day, their own liberation by their own hands. And when we talk about that, we have to talk about dual contending power, building up power for the people, and understanding Hammer City as something that's going to show the world what colonized people are able to accomplish when we are united under a political line, strong, unwavering, disciplined, like CIC said during the State of the Hammer, a people with an indomitable will to get free. And also, when we're free from the grips of colonialism, Hammer City is going to start eating away and fighting back against those symptoms of colonialism. We're not going to have any rent. You don't have to pay rent. We're not going to have any cops. The pigs aren't going to be on your back murdering your people. We're not going to have any colonizers. They are telling you, how you need to live. And we're not going to have any coronavirus, which we know, as much as the colonizer, the colony, and this, illegitimate government tries to tell us it's gone away, we know very well that it's still killing our people. And what we're able to accomplish there is going to shock us and start to build the power we need to win the revolution overall. But to do that, we have to be fed. And so in order to look at how we're going to be able to feed our people 10,000 feet up in the air in the mountains of Colorado, we look to the Aymara people who are indigenous to Bolivia, who have created this structure called the Walapini. And the Walapini is able to maintain ideal growing temperatures for all sorts of crops year round because it's underground. So it uses the solar radiation of the sun and it harnesses it to keep the Walapini structure 8 to 10 feet underground at around anywhere from 60 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit year round. So you can grow, and you can see a picture right here of an indigenous Aymara person looking at the crops they've grown in their Walapini. So I want to tell y'all real quick, because SciTech for the past month has been working tirelessly, writing up reports, doing research, going down deep into all sorts of literatures and websites and documentaries and movies and files and plans and blueprints to write the reports that are necessary for us to build these structures, which our Hammer City team is building. And I want to support, or I want to salute by name each person for their report. So I want to salute Comrade Z, who wrote the reports on what direction do we need the Walapini to face so we can harvest the maximum appropriate amount of sunlight to make this work. Comrade Rohan, who wrote about the different rainwater collection methods we could use, and then specifically when we chose one, wrote about how we can do that and what parts we need and how they fit together and what the blueprint looks like. Comrade May wrote about the different ventilation options we could look at in terms of keeping the airflow where it needs to be to grow these crops. And then when we united on one, he wrote a step-by-step guide on how we actually build that. Comrade Z also not only wrote the directional facing report, but the freeze line determination report that tells us how deep down we can dig to actually start building these structures. Comrade Shorn looked at all the different roofing materials, and when we united that we should use polycarbonate panels and polyethylene films, Chief Akata went through and figured out how we can get those, how we can use them, can we produce them for ourselves, how do we put them onto the Walapini structure. And the reason that I wanted to take the time to call out these comrades by name and say which part of this project they worked on is because your comrades, these people are heroes to the poor and working class masses of the world. Generations upon generations in Hammer City will be eating food that are produced in the Walapinis that were only possible because of these reports that these comrades wrote. And I really want y'all to internalize that and salute them in the chat and understand that in order to wage a revolution, our people have to be fed. These Walapinis will outlast colonialism. You hear SG Uncles say all the time that in the vast history of the world, because of the work that we do every day as an organization, and it is dedicated, disciplined revolutionaries with an indomitable will to serve our people, because of that, colonialism will be the shortest period in human history. And these Walapinis, the SciTech comrades, have written what is necessary to construct. These will outlive colonialism itself. So I just wanted to explain about the Walapinis and let y'all know that y'all got some badass scientists up in SciTech. I'm gonna pass it off to another badass scientist, Chief Fatih, who is our Chief of Information Technology, who's gonna talk a little bit about how IT plays into the revolution and why you should join our IT subcommittee. Land back.
Land back, y'all. My name is Chief Fatih. I represent the African nation via Yoruba land, and I use they, them pronouns. And I am the chief of the IT department, like Chief said. And it is so important that, we take back the information technology that was stolen directly from us, right? To build for our own liberations, build for our own futures, and stop building for the colony. AI, for example, AI is built on an old African logic game called Mancala, right? They literally are taking our resources, right, to build their own artificial intelligence. For what? For a crumbling economy. I joined IT so that I could do more than look at data analysis on the plantation, just to tell them everything we already know, that the plantation is crumbling, right? Spoiler alert, it's dead, right? But it is so important that we take back, right? Land back means science back, right? We take back all of that knowledge that we had from our ancestors. Our ancestors knew how to provide water in deserts before the Greeks ever built a viaduct. Our ancestors knew how to use all sorts of minerals before a cave beast ever stepped out of the cave, right? We need to take that science back, take that technology back, and use it to build our own futures. You do not need white man's paperwork to do any of this. All that paperwork was there to tell you was that you were just doing great for what the colony needed you to do, right? If you ever had to move money, right? If you ever knew that you had to use a certain font to get certain white man paperwork done, right? You can join IT. If you know how to use your phone and go into the settings, you can join IT, right? We have a dialectical mind. We understand that the root of all of our ills is colonialism. And in order for us to take that, to overturn this, we need to build for ourselves, right? And that does include our information technology, structures, all of it. I mean, who doesn't want to just build a game, right? Build a game for people to learn all about our revolutionary ancestors, right? To further that revolution, to propagandize that, right? I mean, you can use IT for absolutely anything and everything, anything and everything that you've done in your life relates to IT. If you had to make a to-do list, that is called an algorithm. If you had to make a to-do list, I want you to join IT right now. Because you can make an algorithm and you understand how to code. It is as simple as that, y'all. It is as simple as moving zeros and ones to hit sign up, join today, blackhammer.org/join, and then send an email to the IT department and say, I am interested. I don't know anything, but I am completely interested because I want to build for my people. I want to see the ills of colonialism, capitalism, imperialism, everything that these snow roaches have taken from us. I want to take it back because land back means science back, right? I want to see all of the things that they took the Pythagorean theorem from Africa and didn't know how to apply it and then sank their ships all over the world. That's why their ships crashed everywhere. They don't know anything, but you do, comrade, you do. You know everything. You know all the things that are needed without the paperwork, right? And if you want to build for your people, if you understand that there is no amount of money that the colony can throw at you with a petty bourgeoisie salary, there is no amount to stop and further the revolution for your people, I want you to join SciTech. I want you to join Black Hammer, and I want you to join SciTech in the IT department because we will be doing great things. And your people deserve you to be there too. Land back.
Land back. Thank you, Chiefs, for all the information. Once again, comrades, you do not need a piece of paper from the white man to do science. Just like all of our chiefs have said, you are a scientist. You are brilliant because you are colonized. And you've literally had to compute and work so hard to figure out how you're going to pay rent, how you're going to eat, how you're going to get from point A to point B. That requires science, y'all. And all of y'all are qualified, whether you got a degree or not. Okay, just the passion for it, the passion for science and the passion for freeing your people is all that is qualified. So please, once again, join the Science and Technology Committee. You will be under amazing leadership that will pave the way and guide us all to liberation. Well, we got even more life-saving information for you up next, because we got Chief Ina, Chief of International Campaigns, with a COVID tip. Land back.
Land back. My name is Chief Ina, representing the nations of Africa and using she, her pronouns, and I'm the chief of the the Anti-Colonial International Office of Campaigns. And today we're just going to talk a little bit about COVID-19. I'm going to give y'all your COVID tip for the day and talk a little bit about the COVID variants. So as y'all know, COVID-19 is consistently mutating. This is actually something that's really normal for viruses, right? That's why there's like a new flu shot every year. Viruses mutate, and there are a lot of variants. I think there's like 4 or 5 currently in the snakes that are spreading. The problem with the variants is that, number 1, they are super widespread. Number 2, they're hard to keep track of. There's constant new ones, and we don't know how these variants are affecting people. That's the main contradiction, is that we don't know how they affect people and what they can mean. As you can see, like we've been talking a lot about the vaccines. There's been a lot of development on vaccines, and one thing they're starting to do is get boosters, do clinical trials on boosters, because the vaccines they're not really good vaccines, and they really don't know how long, if any, if antibodies are even lasting. And so they're starting new clinical trials because, they're continuing to try to make money. The pharma companies are continuing to try to make money from this vaccine. And they've already made billions of dollars. And also the state wants us to be comfortable, right? The state wants us to be comfortable with, what's happening, so that we can go out and be around without masks and continue to like save this dying economy. So I think it's really important that we really acknowledge that we still don't know a lot about COVID-19. Like there's still a lot that we don't know, and we're living in we're seeing a lot of people being pushed by the state to get comfortable again, right? So they can go out and save the dying economy, right? And what we need to really realize is that, COVID is going to be here for a really long time, and we need to really, there's no going back to what the old way, right? The normal used to be. And we do know that there is a proven method, right? We've been using KN95 masks, masks that protect against viral particles in the organization. And we have been, we have never lost a person in Black Hammer from COVID-19 because of this. And there's just a lot of information we don't know. Even if you have gotten the jab, is what people are saying, right? You are, there's no, people are still getting hospitalized. People are still dying. And there's still over 500 deaths a day in the snakes alone, right? And so by no means be liberal around our protocols. You can go on our website, blackhammer.org/COVID-19 basic. All of our protocols are there for all colonized people to use to protect themselves and their families. And that is the COVID tip of the day. And if you are interested in doing this type of work in campaigns, we create protocols, do a lot of research, and just come up with ways for colonized people to be safe around, infectious diseases, around natural events, and even around food protocols, right? If you're interested in doing any of that type of work and creating processes to keep our people safe, you can email us at joincampaigns@protonmail.com. And if you would like to donate to the campaign's office to forward any of these projects, you can donate at Cash Cash App BH campaigns. Land back.
Land back. Thank you so much, Chief Ina. That was amazing. Yes, keep wearing your masks, y'all. Use the resources we are giving out for free and make sure your friends and your family are good, okay? So many people are without this information and it's affecting colonized communities. It's affecting us the most, you know what I mean? So get in touch with us, get your mask. When you get it, steam them things, clean them, okay? They last a minute. You can find all that information on our website, just like Chiquita said. And yeah, so y'all, we have reached the bottom of our agenda. It was an absolute pleasure hosting this rally this evening for y'all. And it's time for our adjournment message with the Chief of Agitation and Propaganda, the beast of an office that brings y'all the Black Hammer Times, the Black Hammer Org Instagram page, fierce clothes to wear from BHO Bazaar, dope graphics, curriculum, music, acting and dance, and live shows and events. Chief Teray, land back.
Land back. Thank you so much, Chief Through, and thank you for everyone who hopped into this rally. Thank you to all the people tuning in on YouTube. We are popping off. We never slow down here at the Black Hammer organization, as you can see with this rally theme. Land back is not a slogan, it's a science. Like we are, what other organization you know got a sci-tech department? A straight up geniuses. Just bringing like AI, Mancala. I'm learning so much today, Chief Fatigue. Can you tutor me, please? Because like I was a theater kid. My grades weren't that good. But we are, just like everything we build in this organization, we are 100% foundational, built by that people power. Our Sci-Tech department wants you to join Sci-Tech. You ain't got to have that white man's paperwork. Like it is that, this is the power of that poor and working class colonized brilliance that built civilization. And we can build it back up while colonialism crumbles, y'all. We just are breaking. So I'm just getting these numbers here these numbers here set up for how much we raised. We are breaking our goals left and right. We are in the middle of, what CIC calls the long march. Like we are pushing it forward every single day, and even in the toughest terrain. We got some geniuses up in this organization that are keeping that momentum. And like I got here, we have raised, drum roll please, dang. So I haven't yet added Comrade Rivers' donation in pounds. Someone's gonna have to do that calculation for me, because again, like Chief Fatigue, can you plug it into your brain, conversion of pounds to US dollars? But for I'm getting here that we have raised two nights. Our goal was 1,200. Y'all, we raised 1,478 US dollars. Not even, oh my God. Now this just in, I was, you know how wrong I was with that math? We have raised $2,894. I'm gonna say that again, $2,894 when I say we smash our goals. We destroy those goals. Oh my God, more than double of what we set out today. I am so proud of everyone in this room. We did it, y'all. We're gonna keep it pushing forward. If you want to stick around, we got an after party. So if you're, this is a members only, you can join us in Club Mad for some music, games. Chief Oju is gonna be running down some science projects for the kids. So if you got kids, you're gonna wanna stick around in the after party, blackhammer.org/join. And you can follow us where the cool kids hang out. So with that, gonna say good night to the haters. Gonna say good night to the fans. But we gotta close it out. Where is that rally jingle?
My goodness, just in, Chief of T donated $106 more to make it an even $3,000.
About to pass out. The Holy Ghost is with me, and I'm not sure my body can take it. Y'all, we have to get taken off this live. Everyone unmute yourself. Give a land back before I pass out from the Holy Ghost.
I'm back.
I'm back. I'm back.
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 I'm